They say that compact crossovers are the most competitive segment in the market, where automakers need to make frequent updates to remain relevant. But then you have Mazda with its CX-5, a model that defies the rules and remains not just competitive, but a class leader, even though it's been around for a very long time. Now with the fresh set of novelties, the all-new 2025 Mazda CX-5 is about to disrupt the market even more. Let's have a look. Music to our ears. The CX-5 continues to evolve in the way that Mazda has the ability to always make the right move. The 2025 model is no different, as the Hiroshima-based automaker has just found a new way to make its evergreen crossover even more appealing. The CX-5 has been a strong seller for years, and even though the competition is much younger, it still does pretty well. And it will continue the same way, considering that it has just gotten cheaper. That's right, while the competition is getting more expensive with every yearly update, the CX-5 is now about $700 cheaper than the 2024 model. It sounds like music to our ears, and if you wonder how that is even possible in these days of inflation, well, Mazda reintroduced its base trim level, called the CX-5S. It starts at $28,570 and certainly is among the more affordable models in the segment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you would lack something. It's actually a well-equipped vehicle which comes standard with 17-inch alloy wheels, LED headlights, cloth upholstery, and a leather-wrapped steering wheel. Moreover, the list of tech features is pretty long as well and includes a 10.25-inch infotainment screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Mazda Connect services, and even a respectable list of advanced driver assistance systems. Forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, all these things are part of the standard offer, which certainly make the base CX-5 an excellent deal. Still a class leader. The secret of CX-5's success and longevity is actually no secret. Everyone knows what sets it apart from rivals, and it mostly comes to ride quality. Sure, most rivals are more spacious and more practical, but none of them come even close when it comes to Mazda's engaging driving demeanor. The CX-5 rides on an amazing chassis that doesn't show a sign of aging. Precise handling combined with minimal body roll and complemented by electrically assisted steering make the CX-5 a joy to drive. It surely feels like you're driving a hatchback or sedan rather than a crossover, but the thing is that you don't have to drive it hard to enjoy. At the same time, this chassis is excellent for low-speed cruising. Despite the sporty handling, the CX-5 is also a pretty comfortable vehicle. It absorbs road imperfections with ease, while the sound insulation, whether it's about road or wind noise, is great. Mazda has definitely found a sweet spot with this one. And on top of all these qualities, the CX-5 still looks very attractive. It's been on the market for a very long time, but its clean, smooth lines still make it a one-of-a-kind in the segment where the competition tends to look more rugged, more body-on-frame-like. Mazda tried the same thing with the CX-50, the CX-5's successor, but the sales figures clearly show that the majority of buyers rather choose the predecessor. Simply, it's one of the best applications of the company's KODO design language that, despite the lack of bigger updates in recent years, still looks so fresh that the 7-year-old CX-5 is still considered one of the best-looking models in the class. Interior design, still a benchmark. With a couple of minor updates, Mazda managed to keep the CX-5's interior fresh up to these days. You know what they say about cabin designs and how they get outdated first? Well, that's not the case with this one. With its elegant design approach, full of clean lines and pretty fine selection of materials, the CX-5 ages like wine. Yes, some rivals look more modern with their fancy screens and other tech goodies, but when we look at the substance, the CX-5's interior still has the edge. It offers excellent build quality for the class, while drivers particularly praise the seating position and ergonomics, which are spot on. And it turns out that the CX-5's interior is so elegant that many buyers are ready to forgive the obvious lack of practicality. Rivals are more spacious with bigger cargo areas and more passenger room in the second row. In other words, they are more practical. The CX-5's cabin is tighter, but if we want to be completely fair, it's far from bad. It's actually spacious enough for an average buyer of a compact SUV. And when you blend that fact with what we just talked about things like materials, style, build quality, and sound insulation, it feels like no rival offers such a comprehensive blend of different qualities. Moreover, it turned out that not even Mazda was able to repeat this. Considering that many owners of the newer CX-50 claim that the new model is simply not at the same level. It may be because of the cost-cutting strategies, or maybe due to the fact that the CX-5 is built in Japan, while the CX-50 comes from factory lines in Alabama. In any case, it's pretty clear why this SUV has remained in production for much longer than it was initially planned. Powertrain and performance. We all know that the CX-5's excellent chassis wouldn't mean much if there were no adequate powertrain options, and thankfully, Mazda has a couple of solid engine choices on offer. The base model comes equipped with a good old 2.5-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, good for about 187 horsepower. While the numbers look quite average for the segment, this engine has always been known for its throttle response and smooth power delivery, even at lower RPMs. With that in mind, it doesn't surprise that this crossover, equipped with a traditional 6-speed automatic, is actually quicker than gas-only variants of RAV4 and CR-V, even though the latter comes with a Turbo 4 engine. 0 to 60 takes about 8 seconds, and while that's quite decent for the segment, we have no doubt that more ambitious drivers would go for the optional Turbo 4. With the same displacement but forced induction, that engine is one of the best powertrains in the whole class, with 256 horsepower and, more importantly, quite impressive 320 pound-feet of torque. With that amount of power, it's no surprise it needs just about 6 seconds to hit 60, making it one of the quickest models in the segment. Despite the lack of gears, the 6-speed transmission actually works very well and even provides pretty good fuel economy that goes around 26 miles per gallon city and 31 miles per gallon highway, which is about average for the segment. The Turbo 4, of course, is thirstier but still quite decent, with an average fuel economy of around 23 miles per gallon city and 29 highway. Pricing and which one to choose. With the comeback of the base S trim and lower starting price, the 2025 Mazda CX-5 has brought a very pleasant surprise. That S trim seems quite appealing, not just because of the attractive MSRP, but also a pretty decent amount of standard equipment. But the offer doesn't stop there. There's actually a pretty broad range of models to choose from, and each seems like a pretty good deal. There are 8 versions to choose from in total, and the next in line is the S Select, which starts at around $29,900 and brings a couple of interesting upgrades, such as synthetic leather upholstery, power-adjustable driver's seat, heated front seats, dual-zone climate control, keyless entry, etc. For even more convenience, the S Preferred seems like an excellent deal, with a starting price of $31,250. For that kind of money, you get genuine leather upholstery, a power-adjustable front passenger seat, an auto-dimming rearview mirror, a moonroof, and a power liftgate. Buyers who want to spice things up a bit with the unique styling details can go with the Carbon Edition, priced at $32,600. That model brings unique exterior and interior aesthetics, along with 19-inch wheels. But besides visual upgrades, it also brings more standard equipment, such as wireless smartphone integration, wireless charging, and a Bose audio system with 10 speakers. The Premium Plus is the fanciest version you can get with the base naturally aspirated engine. That one adds ventilated front seats, rear heated seats, a heated steering wheel, a head-up display, satellite radio, and a 7-inch digital gauge cluster with an MSRP of $35,200. Priced at around $37,000, the Carbon Turbo stands out with unique styling details and synthetic leather upholstery. But its key benefit is the Turbo 4 engine with a max output of 256 horsepower if you use premium gasoline. For $37,800, you can get the Turbo Premium version with upgrades like heated rear seats and traffic jam assist, while the top of the offer is reserved for the Turbo Signature model. That variant of the CX-5, priced at $40,600, stands out with premium features like Napa leather, navigation, ambient LED interior lighting, traffic sign recognition, surround view camera, parking sensors, reverse collision warning, and many more things that make it the fanciest CX-5 you can buy. As you can see, the range of models is broad, but no matter which one you choose, you will get a lot for your money. So much that after all these years, it's still legal to say that the CX-5 is one of the best compact SUVs on the market. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.